can follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest.
From the station that's on your side, News 12, first at 5, continues.
28-year-old Maurice Franklin enjoying his new life outside of jail after his release on Friday. He was facing 1,100 years for a drive-by shooting where no one was injured. News 12 Sydney Heiberger has been investigating this case for us to sit down with Maurice, his wife, and their new baby, who Maurice met for the first time when he was released. Sydney, tell us more.
Richard, that's absolutely right. Maurice was facing 604 days in jail, facing 1,100 years and 51 charges, the majority of those relating to an alleged gang affiliation. Maurice claims he is not a member. Maurice says it started when he saw a picture of himself on the news, wanted for aggravated assault. He went to the sheriff's office to clear his name, bringing them his phone records and location data that showed he was nowhere near the crime. The former district attorney Natalie Payne says Maurice's phone was inactive for the 30 minutes leading up to the crime. It reactivated 5 minutes after the crime, still showing Maurice was 7.5 miles away. Still, he was arrested and denied bail after the woman whose home was involved in the drive-by shooting identified Maurice through a Facebook photo. That woman later recanted her testimony, but Payne says witnesses often recant their testimony, and she still believes current District Attorney Jared Williams wrongly set Maurice free. Regardless, Franklin says he never gave up hope.
I was in shock. It's hard to be in a hostile environment, try to focus on your family when you're powerless over the outside world, and your case when you're basically powerless over that too. So I really had to rely on my faith in God and really had to just get a grip.
And as we investigate Maurice's case, we're learning it's not all that uncommon. The National Registry of Exoneration shows 2,783 people have been exonerated since 1989, totaling nearly 25,000 years lost. Tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're sitting down with Maurice's lawyer, who tells us Maurice's case is not the only local case like this we've seen.
Sydney, thank you. There's much more news ahead. Let's have a look outside and check in with
forecast in just about 10 minutes.
Riley, thank you. In the last hour, Edgefield County school officials say a bus carrying 12 Johnston Elementary students was involved in a crash. They say all the students are safe, they're okay. They also say one student is being evaluated because out of an abundance of caution. The bus itself was not damaged. The other car did get some damage. And all this happened at the intersection of Addison and Edisto Streets in Johnston, South Carolina.
New today, an Edgefield County Detention Center jailer has been arrested. 29-year-old Sedaria Adams is accused of conspiring with an inmate's family to smuggle contraband into the jail. Investigators say she got an undisclosed amount of money through Cash App for her part in this conspiracy. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office looking for this man. Take a good look. They want to question him about a shooting at a Grovetown Applebee's. They say it happened last night around 11 o'clock. Deputies say when they got to the scene, a woman told them her 20-year-old son had been shot. Investigators say the shooter ate at the Applebee's before the incident happened. If you've been following social media, you might have seen USC President Bob Caslin's commencement speech. Many people are still wondering what was going on.
It's now my honor and privilege to officially congratulate you as the newest alumni from the University of California. Congratulations, and please be seated. Carolina. Sorry about that. I owe you push-ups.
He is also being questioned for allegedly plagiarizing Admiral William McRaven's 2014 commencement speech.
Know that life is not fair, and if you're like me, you'll fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when times are toughest, face down the cowardly bullies, and lift up the downtrodden, and never, never give up.
Well, today, Caslin says he is sorry. He says he was only quoting the Admiral and just forgot to credit him for that quote.
Breaking news just coming into our newsroom. The FDA giving emergency approval to the Pfizer vaccine for kids 12 to 15 years old. Middle school students will now be able to get the vaccine before the next school year starts. Officials hope this will help accelerate vaccination efforts all across the country. Well, this afternoon, Governor Kemp signing a bill to repeal the state citizens arrest law. The bill passed the General Assembly back in March. Governor Kemp and other state lawmakers have been pushing for this repeal for nearly a year following the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Arbery's mom also at that signing ceremony today.
People all over this state and nation, the Kemp family included, have been praying for you and your loved ones this past year.
Unfortunately, I had to lose my son to get significant change, but again, I'm still thankful.
The bill passed in a unanimous vote in Atlanta. The suspects in Arbery's death, Travis and Gregory McMichael, along with Roddy Bryan, will all appear in a court for federal hate crime charges tomorrow. In addition to their state murder charges, they face federal hate crime and attempted kidnapping charges.
Governor Kemp is heading to Augusta tomorrow. He'll be holding a news conference on the 2022 state budget. He signed that today on the last day for him to sign any bills sent to his desk. Now, this completes this year's legislative session. South Carolina wraps up their State House legislative session on Friday. Governor Kemp will be at Augusta Regional at Bush Field at 2:15. The autopsies for Ian Wilson and E.J. Kirk say the cause of death is drowning. We spoke with both families today. They say they are finalizing funeral plans. The two men were seen falling into Clarks Hill Lake back on April 26th. They never resurfaced. We'll update you with the funeral plans as soon as we hear back from the family. New today, Mayor Hardy Davis proposed. Mayor Davis also wants the minimum wage for full-time city employees to be $30,000.
A bill requiring middle, high school, and colleges to put the suicide hotline number on student IDs now heads to Governor McMaster's desk. The bill was passed unanimously by the State House and Senate. Schools would also have to add a second crisis hotline of their choosing to a student ID. That could be a dating abuse hotline or any other organization.
Right now, there are more than 14,000 foster kids without permanent homes in Georgia. When these kids do not have a foster home, they get shuffled around with families and sometimes even have to stay in a hotel. Child advocates say there is a huge need in the state for foster parents. They say adoption creates special bonds for the kids and new parents.
A foster child just becomes a child of your own. They become part of your heart. They become part of your life.
It is a labor of love. Not everyone can be a foster parent. You must truly, truly have a love for children.
Some of the requirements to become a foster parent include 35 to 40 hours of training. You must also prove that you are financially stable. You'll have to go through housing inspections and interviews. For more information, you can call the National Youth Advocate Program in Augusta. We've got the number there on your screen. You can also find it on our website and our WRDW app.
Congressman Rick Allen in the next step in their career. Students also got to officially sign their intent letters there today. All Publix pharmacies are accepting walk-in vaccine patients starting today. If you have an appointment, they will honor that, but you just don't have to schedule one anymore. Kroger on Washington Road also accepting walk-in vaccine appointments. Several states are seeing a dip in demand for the vaccine. Officials hoping walk-in clinics will make it easier for you to be able to get that shot. Well, if you haven't had a chance to get over to the YMCA for a box of fresh food, there's still some time. The North Jefferson Y is offering food until 7 in the evening. The Burke County Y also giving out food until 7. If you can't make it to either of those spots, you can request a special pickup for Tuesday or Saturday. You do have to reserve a time, and that link is on our website. This comes with 7 days of breakfast, lunch, and snacks. The 17-year cicada return is just weeks away. Coming up, we're going to tell you what it means for your pets and what health experts have to say about their nutritious value for the rest of us. But you better be hungry, right, Riley?
Ew.
Looking good. Or shop online at GeraldJonesFord.com.
They are strange looking, they are noisy, and they're coming in just a few weeks. They've already popped up in D.C. and the area north of us. It's only a matter of time before they come to our backyards.
Oh, yay, aren't we excited? But it's not just the noise you need to be worried about. These insects leave exoskeletons. As we know, our pets sometimes eat things that they shouldn't, and eating too many of the cicada shells could mean big problems for your pets and their digestion. According to the American Kennel Club, the shells are hard to digest for dogs. They could end up with upset stomachs, abdominal pain. They could even need an IV.
Your dog can also choke on a cicada, have an allergic reaction, or maybe even eat too many pesticides in the process. But wherever they do pop up, they're going to be here for about 6 weeks. And just in case you're wondering, National Geographic says, in spite of those pet warnings, they're safe for humans to eat. Experts say they're low in carbs. Meredith, they're gluten-free.
They are.
Come
You
on.
can boil them. You can have them candied, because candied bugs is what we all want for dessert, right?
I feel like it is an episode of Survivor, but I'm going to have to pass on the cicada. I can't get past the red eyes, for one thing.
Oh, well, and then, I mean, it's good to know, though, as pet owners, to pick up the exoskeletons or try to get them away from your dog. I mean, my dogs will eat anything.
Right, I know. My dogs, too. They'll eat a lot of questionable things.
Yeah,
So I'm sure cicadas will be
questionable
right up there with them.
Crunchy. If you hear them crunching, you better come running.
I know it, yeah. Hey, but
Thanks, a nonprofit owner out of Savannah, taking her restaurant experience and turning that into philanthropy. As she gains statewide attention, she's working to do even more.
Right now, she's even selling her pound cakes and treats to send a student to an HBCU, fully paid for. Tim Gierda tells us more.
On behalf of Paula Wallace and all of SCAD, congratulations to you.
Even as she is earning recognition for her philanthropy, Belinda Baptiste is moving forward with it.
Well, in the last couple of months, we've got our 501c. We have a bank account. We have a board.
All are critical steps toward Baptiste's goal of sending a local student to an historically black college or university in the fall, an effort that will take more than her compassion and baking skills.
You know, it's 26,000 and we already raised 6,000. So we need 20,000 and we need a few thousand for our website, for social media presence. So I would put it at 30,000.
And that's why she has had to formalize her nonprofit and expand her fundraising efforts from using the proceeds of pound cake sales at her unforgettable bakery and cafe.
Well, we continue to do the pound cakes. Those we're gonna continue to do them, but of course that's not gonna bring us that amount of money. And so, me personally, I know I have like a lot of friends, but I'm gonna choose my 10 top friends and I'm gonna ask them to raise $1,000 each for me. And they don't necessarily have to write me a check for 1,000, but they know 10 friends that can give them $100 each. So that's one thing that came into my mind the other day after our board meeting. I said, okay, Belinda, now what?
Now it becomes a matter of getting the community to recognize her efforts, as SCAD did when they presented Baptiste with one of their first SCAD Salute Awards last week.
It wasn't expected, but so appreciated. You know, if SCAD is noticing us, so we must be at least, you know, doing a little thing, you know?
Actually, a big thing that Baptiste hopes will start this year and continue to grow.
My goal really, Tim, is really to get all the small business to buy that idea. Imagine if like each one of us sends like 1 to 5 to 10 kids to college, you know? That would be a great thing. That would be a big impact. So that's really my long-term goals.
How great is that? She has already had successful programs sponsoring schools in Haiti. Right now, she gives stipends to HBCU students for food so that they can eat after the cafeteria closes. During the pandemic, live music performances were just out of the question, but now we're starting to see musicians be able to come back. How playing together is making all the difference coming up.
We know during the pandemic, live music performances have been non-existent, but with the rollout of the vaccine, all kinds of groups are able to come back to the stage.
Yeah, and as Sam Howe tells us, some young musicians in Texas are excited to finally play the music the way it should be done, together.
If a musician plays the cello and no one hears it, does it make a noise? The pandemic has sparked some philosophical questions and some soul searching.
Doing live performances is a major part of why we put in so much effort.
For Danielle, Jaden, and Marlon, that bow is like an appendage. They've been playing cello for most of their young lives.
There's few instruments that when they get together can match what cellos together can match.
Teacher Joseph Kuiper saw what his students were missing.
Sometimes absence does make the heart grow fonder.
So he started Texas Cellos. The student cello choir will perform this weekend, the musicians' first live, socially distanced performance in more than a year.
As soon as I left rehearsal, first thing I told my mother was that was the most fun I had on the cello in a good year.
What is it about music that can do that, that can bring people together?
It is a universal language, and it is something that touches us in so many ways.
Part entertainment, part therapy.
It was something that I didn't know I needed.
All of us have challenges, all of us have insecurities, and then in the process of making it together, we face those things.
The pandemic might have put live music on pause, but the Texas Cellos are ready to press play again.
Aren't you just relaxed after hearing that?
I'm just ready to be back to normal, to go to any type of concert, any type of live theater, all the things that we have been missing. We really have missed out on so much of the arts. I know people have been very, very creative, and virtual has had its place, but I'm ready to see all this stuff in person again.
Nothing like live music, no matter the form.
Right.
Riley?
All right, later this week, we are expecting high temperatures to be about